Welcome to the Bogart Effect, a wealthy wisdom podcast. Please see important disclosure information at the end of the presentation.
You know, obviously, we've talked a lot about the emotional side of this conversation. Let's transition a little bit and talk about the financial side. You know, because a lot of clients ask us the question, you know, obviously we're both advocates for the rent first, which, that, you know, that has an expense profile, but that is an expense. We're not making an asset acquisition. But a lot of folks ask us the question of like, how do I buy that second home or transition home while I still have my primary? And that becomes like one of the biggest roadblocks. And they're like, oh, I got to sell the primary before I can go buy the new house. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So from that perspective, I think it's crucial to manage liquidity. One of the things that is vital for all retirees is managing cash flows. What is the buffer of cash flows that we have? How long could we exist in an environment with both? Do we want to retain both? All of that's going to be dependent on two things. Number one, the actual capacity to fund that. And then number two, what is your profile for risk? Because in a market like what we've had the past 4 or 5 years, real estate's moving, but that's not always going to be the case. And so if we buy home number two without getting rid of home number one, we may have a little bit of friction there. Some people that they're not going to lose an ounce of sleep over that. Other people might. And so having an adequate plan in place to fund cash flows, understand what the impact of that is going to do on a retirement portfolio, withdrawal rates, it's crucial. And that coordination needs to happen well ahead of time.
Yeah, and I really want to emphasize the plan because there's a lot more to this, in my opinion, than just can I afford it or do I have the cash flows to it? Because in a lot of instances, it becomes an optimization as well, right? Like I have a household right now that we're both helping that they're moving up to Virginia from Texas, right? So they're almost, you know, in some ways swimming upstream, but the real estate prices up here are significantly more.
The previous presentation by Bogart Wealth was intended for general information purposes only. No portion of the presentation serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice from Bogart Wealth or any other investment professional of your choosing. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that future performance of any specific investment or investment strategy or any other non-investment related or planning services, discussion, or content will be profitable, be suitable for your portfolio or individual situation, or prove successful. Neither Bogart Wealth's investment advisor registration status nor any amount of prior experience or success should be construed that a certain level of results or satisfaction will be achieved if Bogart Wealth is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Bogart Wealth is neither a law firm nor accounting firm, and no portion of its services shall be construed as legal or accounting advice. No portion of the podcast content should be construed by a client or prospective client as a guarantee that he or she will experience a certain level of results if Bogart Wealth is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Copies of Bogart Wealth's current written disclosure brochure and Form CRS discussing our advisory services and fees are available upon request or at www.bogartwealth.com.